Good afternoon. This is Scorese at Work Your Money Podcast with our hostess, Michelle Wong, who's not in the interview today. We're with Yardell Perkins from PERKITECH. But we host various interviews with professional services here down in the Philadelphia market. And I'm really excited to have Yardell here because I met him through one of the business networking events I hold here at WeWork in Northern Liberties, which is basically the center of the universe where we do a lot of our filming for Work Your Money Podcast. We are going to be venturing out a couple new locations that we've been discussing, but I'm really excited about having Yardell because he is an entrepreneur that has just sprouted out on his own, left a 9-to-5 job to take on the world. And I'm really excited about talking about that. And we're going to pull out all the extroverted components of Yardell today. So that's another thing because he's very laid back, a true professional, works out of my office here upstairs at WeWork, which is also great to have him around. So let's start off. Tell me a little bit about yourself, where you were 6 months ago, where you are at now, and what do you think you're going to realistically in 6 months?
Well, I want to start by saying thank you for having me. It's an honor and a blast. 6 months ago, I was working for a nonprofit out of Conshohocken, which was essentially an IT department for all of the libraries there. I was essentially their network administrator. And it was, when I got the job, it was the dream job. I worked so long and hard to get it. Long story short, got burnt out, decided it wasn't for me anymore. In that time, I had been building up PERKITECH on the side, and there's just a moment when I just decided that I just wanted to make that leap, get into it. That's where I'm at now, and 6 months from now, I expect to be pretty much just still doing what I'm doing, but more like centered into it as far as having like a base in clients and authority.
But for profit.
Yes.
That's a good sign, too. So a little bit about a background, where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? What certifications do you have? A little background where your background supports your goals with your company.
Okay. Well, my explicit IT background comes from a degree in management information systems I have from Drexel, graduated in 2009. From there, my first job was for a small computer shop in Center City, Philadelphia. I spent 10 years working there, ended up managing it in the end. And from there, I moved on to the job I just recently left. As far as the background I have now, that comes from largely self-studying that I've been doing through online portals such as Udemy and books and periodicals.
Okay, great. What type of individuals and organizations should consider working with you? Who's the ideal company or ideal individual that wants to work with Yardell?
Well, for me right now, the ideal individual is a solopreneur to a small business, maybe less than 100 employees, that's just starting out on their own and looking to either build themselves a brand or a presence on the web, or maybe even has a brand and wants to rebuild it.
Okay, so that also ties into, why would I go to this bigger company and not, or vice versa? Why am I coming to Yardell? Why am I not going to the big company? Do I get lost in the sauce? I mean, is there what defines the differences between you guys?
Well, the way I try to set myself apart and strive to do that is by empowering my clients to truly take the things that I build for them and feel as if they're own. A lot of the larger agencies or companies will create a website or a system, but do it in such a way where they try to create some type of ongoing dependence through a monthly package as far as doing like updates, break fix, things of that nature, which I do offer that, but I strive to make it as optional as possible. One example would be like with just doing something as simple as backing your website up, where a lot of companies offer that as an ongoing service, where I try to make it so that as part of the project, I show someone how to do that for themselves so that they don't need to come find me to do it for them.
Now, talking about platforms, okay? I am not a social media expert by no means, meaning I do teach the idea of branding and where you could extract the most amount of business for the least amount of activity. So I've been very good at that and very humbled and lucky, and I don't even know if there's a word like lucky. I think there's just good elbow grease, putting time in to put your brands out there. But then there's platforms for web pages and websites, and splash pages. Give me some direction.
Well, one of the things I see a lot are like the do-it-yourself platforms such as Wix or Squarespace, where someone such as yourself could easily go in and get something set up in really less than a few hours, if that. And if you just want something up and going and your capital is small, you don't need a lot, that's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
My issue with a lot of those platforms is that they're very limiting and they don't allow you to grow. I used one in the beginning, I don't want to name names, which was perfectly good to me. But in the process of using it, I started to learn more about what I could and couldn't do and what I wouldn't be able to try. And I found that I wasn't able to try that because with the people I was working with, it was pretty much what they offered was what I was stuck with. So that's why I had to leave them. Okay. It's not that their service was bad to me, just I essentially outgrew it.
Okay. So knowing that I'm in the real estate industry, what's your niche that you can offer to a professional in real estate with your social media skills? Today, going future, what's the point? A little plan, little idea, little breadcrumb. Give me a little direction.
My plan would be to take realtors who are maybe working with a larger organization who want to kind of set themselves apart, maybe have like a page for themselves that show like their listings or the people they work directly with, where so it's okay, they're still working for who they work for, but it's more so they get to show themselves off.
Mm-hmm. So that leads into why Philadelphia? Why not take your background, your education to DC, which is another incubator kind of city for social media, or New York for that matter, Manhattan? I mean, why do you think you're going to make your mark here in the Philadelphia market with your background, your social media skills, your tenacity, leaving that full-time job, going into a true entrepreneurial position at this point?
Well, that's the thing that I'm proud of as far as my particular setup. It's very decentralized. I mean, I'm in Philadelphia. I happen to live here, but for the way it's set up, I can be anywhere.
Okay. Did you grow up in Philadelphia?
Yes. I'm born and raised from South Philly. Okay. Pretty much all my life. I left for about 3 years to go to my first college in Rochester, New York.
Okay.
And then I came back.
Ended up at Drexel.
Yes.
And it's amazing between South Philly and University City, just the growth in your time, and then being happy enough to be able to set yourself here to work your business out. And I agree. I mean, social media, you could touch on people pretty much internationally at this point. I mean, here at WeWork, people are filming, we're doing Skyping all their meetings with people from all over the world, which is just wonderful. And WeWork is just a great company to kind of work a business like yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gives you that chameleon-like flexibility. And I'm really excited that you're working out of our offices here now as well, full time. So how do we reach you? How do we contact you? What's a couple good ways to reach you?
Well, my website is simply PERKITECH.com. That's PERKITECH. And my 3 major socials are Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. They're all, again, PERKITECH, just one word. The Instagram is more PERKITECH behind the scenes, where if you want to like see stuff happening, where I'm just like out and about, rambling, just doing stuff between jobs and whatnot.
Okay. Are you open to having like an initial consultation, like a half-hour consultation? Like if I wanted to introduce you to a couple of real estate agents or other real estate related professional services, would you offer like a mini consultation to see where they're at?
Absolutely. That's one of the things I'm big on too, as far as like seeing if I can even help individuals what I have. In fact, going back to briefly the Wix and Squarespace matter we spoke with before, there was an individual who approached me a few months ago looking for a website, and then I started to sit down and talk to them about what they wanted, what they were looking for. It was more so, look, I can do it, but what you're asking for, you could do that on Wix or Squarespace. So you really just save your money, go there.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll come back.
Right.
You did the right thing. You could have charged them something that really wouldn't have done anybody any good, and they would have walked away maybe a little sore about it. Now, like, hey, this guy's helpful. We're gonna talk to him about something bigger.
Exactly.
Okay. So, is there a contact number to reach out to you?
I'm best caught up with on like my socials and the email.
Okay. Well, what was the email again?
My email is just yardell@perkitech.com.
Keep it simple.
Yes.
Less is more. Guys, I would like to thank Yardell for coming out. And he actually helped me this morning. I would like to personally thank you for me forcing you into volunteerism and facilitating a great workshop here this morning where we had 70, 80 people. And Yardell is a team player, and I really look forward to seeing him at the business-to-business networking events we have, and I'm really happy that he's here at WeWork out of Northern Liberties. And again, thank you very much for a few minutes just to kind of learn about your business and promote it through Work Your Money podcast, because we are going national and international for that matter. So there's a lot of excitement with this podcast. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
Guys, this is Joe Scorese, your mortgage lending specialist here at WeWork in Northern Liberties through Work Your Money podcast. And we'll see you again soon. Have a great day.